Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us here for KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Whitney Ward.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Tom is off this week. We begin with a development with the Omicron variant. A new form of COVID has been detected in Washington. Researchers are calling it BA2. It's not a new variant, they say, but rather a subvariant of Omicron. So far, it's been detected in 40 countries, with 2 cases in our state so far. Testing facilities are seeing a rise in the subvariant, but since it's so new, they still don't know a whole lot about it.
In the meantime, Omicron continues to take its toll on Washington hospitals. Here in Spokane County, hospitals are seeing steep increases.
KREM 2's Ian Smay listened to an update today from the Washington Hospital Association. He is live in the newsroom tonight with some of the big takeaways. Ian?
Hospital leaders said hospitalizations statewide are still increasing, but at a slower rate than previous weeks. But when it comes to Spokane County, they say hospitalizations have seen a significant uptick recently. According to the Hospital Association's Executive Vice President Taya Briley, Spokane County has seen a 23% increase in hospitalizations in the last week. Over the past 2 weeks, the number of people hospitalized with COVID-19 has doubled here in Spokane from about 80 patients to about 160 patients. This comes as hospitals across the entire state have faced a tough week.
Last week was an extremely rough week for all those in our state who needed access to life-saving hospital care. Hospitalizations were trending up and staff continued to call out sick because they had either contracted COVID or they were having to isolate due to exposure.
Another worry for hospitals, especially those in eastern Washington, is the current situation unfolding in Idaho. Yesterday, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare activated crisis standards of care in the state's 3 southern health districts. It is yet to activate these standards again in North Idaho. Last time there were crisis standards activated, it had effects on hospitals in eastern Washington as they saw an increased demand in transfers or people from Idaho coming to Washington for treatment. Briley says they are prepared for North Idaho to also be in crisis standards.
We are concerned that crisis standards will spread north in Idaho. In the prior crisis stage, when Idaho declared crisis standards of care, it began in the north and then spread south. And Washington hospitals were definitely affected.
The Hospital Association said it is also placing a large order with 3M for more N95 masks. They said a lot of hospitals across the state are operating in contingency standards when it comes to PPE. That means workers would use an N95 mask for an entire shift instead of changing it after each patient. One thing that Briley brought up was the effects of vaccines. She said since the vaccines were rolled out, about 90% of hospitalizations and deaths could have been prevented with a vaccine. In the newsroom, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.
All right, Ian, thank you very much. Now, down at Pullman Regional Hospital, things are going a bit differently. As of this morning, it said it is not actively treating any COVID patients. However, they are in the same boat as many other hospitals when it comes to staffing issues. As Omicron has swept through Washington, more and more healthcare workers are either contracting the virus or they're calling out because of exposures. The hospital says it is still dealing with very sick patients, just not from COVID.
We still are seeing a surge of very sick people, not COVID patients in particular, but I do believe that we're seeing higher levels of very sick people because people have delayed care.
She also said even healthcare workers have put off some treatment because they've been so busy taking care of other patients. As for current COVID cases in Pullman, she says more and more young people are testing positive for the Omicron variant.
The Idaho Department of Health and Welfare also gave an update on how COVID is impacting their healthcare systems. This comes just a day after crisis standards of care was put into place for Idaho's 3 southern districts. That decision was caused by high numbers of staff being out due to positive COVID-19 tests or exposures. The Department of Health and Welfare also said case numbers are going in the wrong direction. Hospitals in southern Idaho and across the state are also dealing with the impacts of the nationwide blood shortage and the surge in Omicron cases. Crisis standards have not been put into place for Idaho's 2 northern districts, but the Panhandle is not past the current surge just yet.
The situation with the healthcare systems for the rest of the state remains very fragile. If current trends continue, I expect that crisis standards of care will be activated in additional areas of the state.
Jepsen also said the current surge is different than the surge caused by the Delta variant. That's because Delta put more of a strain on critical care resources, while Omicron is causing strains on the entire healthcare system. Well, let's talk weather now. Another cloudy, kind of foggy day across the inland Northwest.
Yeah, meteorologist Thomas Patrick is joining us now, and it seems like we really have kind of been stuck in this foggy gray pattern for like basically the whole month of January.
Yeah, I kind of made the joke yesterday that it feels like Groundhog Day, where it's like it's the same thing every single day. We're kind of in that pattern, Whitney and Mark. Low-hanging cloud cover yet again for today, and also didn't make it above the freezing mark for the second straight day. So kind of seems like cut and paste, but we are kind of keeping an eye on the extended forecast for any changes that might finally be heading our way. Here's those temperatures right now for the evening commute, still below 30 in Coeur d'Alene. A little bit warmer out towards Lewiston, as we might expect, holding strong at 38. Doesn't look like the fog shouldn't be as much of an issue even for tomorrow morning, but our model has at least 1-0 on the map. In this case, it was Coeur d'Alene, but obviously just a little bit of some patchy dense fog may once again be in the works for tomorrow morning. But we are keeping an eye on the weekend and our extended forecast when we finally see a chance for both rain and mainly snow this time around. Finally, some changes to break this foggy weather pattern. It will come in the form of snow, so we'll show you the latest details on that incoming weather system in a few minutes.
All right, sounds good, Thomas. Thank you very much. And when we come back, the Freeman community continued today to share how the high school shooting changed their lives.
You don't deserve a second chance. You have made a hole in everyone's heart around you, and that's unforgivable.
We'll share more statements from today as several victims and survivors spoke directly to the shooter himself.